Hi guys! In this video what I want to do is I want to derive the quadratic formula, and the way we'll do it is we'll complete the square. So we're going to take ax squared plus bx plus c and we're gonna complete the square on that. So let's begin. So say this is a little bit informal, but so I'm just going to say ax squared plus bx plus c is 0. That's what we have, and we want to solve for x by completing the square. So the first step is we'll factor out a. Okay, so we factored out a out of the first two terms, just like in the previous videos, and the next thing we do is we take half of the linear coefficients. We take half of b over a. So we cut that in half. Well, if it turns out that if you cut b over a in half, you get b over 2a, like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to add that in squared. So this is just like before. Awesome. So next, remember that we added in this extra quantity, right? We added in a times this. Well, if we simplify this, we get b squared over, well actually, you know what? We don't even have to think it out mentally. We're going to do it better than that. The way we're going to do it is we know that a times this comes through on this side, so therefore, since we added that in, a times that is also going to come through on this side. We don't even have to do the mental math yet. We can do that later. So next, this is now a perfect square because b over 2a plus b over 2a gives you b over a, because remember we cut it in half, so of course, right? And then those two multiply, b over 2a times b over 2a gives you b over 2a squared. So this is a times x plus b over 2a quantity squared, and then we're going to bring over this c as well, so we'll have equals, so we're going to subtract this c, so I'll do that right here, and then also we've got a times b over 2a squared. So notice there's one a on top, there's going to be two a's on bottom, so this one's going to cancel, and it's going to not be squared anymore on that a, right? But it's still going to be b squared. And on the bottom, we're going to have, because we're squaring 2a, we get 4a squared, but we canceled out one of those a's, so it's just 4a. So b squared over 4a minus c right there, big minus sign, fill in that gap. So next, we're going to find a common denominator on this side, so we're going to multiply by 4a over 4a. We're going to combine those together, and then we're going to divide by a on this side and get rid of that. So we'll bring this all together, and then we'll divide by a. So I'll do that in one step. So bringing this all together and making it alphabetical. And then we're dividing by a. So it's 4a before we divide by a. So after we divide by a, we have 4a squared. Good. So we've got b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. And then on this side, we've just got x plus b over 2a quantity squared. All right. There's really just two more steps. We're going to take the square root of both sides. When you take the square root of something squared, you just get the absolute value of that thing equals this. Or in other words, we can say x plus b over 2a is plus or minus, so plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over, now when you take the square root of 4a squared, you end up getting 2a. Oops, sorry, I was off the screen there for a second. And then lastly, notice we just have to solve for x, and we just got this plus b over 2a, and then it's also the same exact denominator as this one. So we can really just smush this into one single fraction, leaving us with x equals negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That is the quadratic formula.